Uh, how do you see, at your level, the connections among these various Latino groups? As in, do they see a collective destiny? Do they act in a combined fashion, or are they still pretty much into their own networks of the homeland?
I think right now, especially with the new immigrant community of Latinos per se, there is not a lot of work to talk about that. I'm sorry, not a lot of time to talk about it because of their work schedule. Sometimes they work 10, 12 hours a day. What we are doing, though, is trying to work very closely with the young people. And the young people is really important, not when people say for the future, but for the present. I mean, they are people who are very energetic. They know what their parents are going through in many cases when there are problems of documentation. They have seen how their parents have struggled. And that's, I think, a real opportunity there to bring that sense of a civic engagement that is really important to have among Latinos, and also to see ourselves as just one big diverse community, and not just oh, I'm from Chile or I'm from Argentina. I think it's really important to create, to work around those issues that we know are happening out there, that we can create and build some political power.
Are you seeing, Valeria, any kind of sense of common identity, or is it still pretty much everybody in their own little subgroup to their own?
Well, I think for newcomers who are very focused on getting jobs, like Gonzalo is saying, it's sometimes not the top priority, and it's a process of education. We work in a neighborhood that's historically, or not historically it was Jewish, then Colombian, and now the newest groups in the neighborhood are Mexican and Ecuadorian, right? So you may find some tensions depending on who's the boss and who's the worker, right? And these are some of the same class conflicts that you would find across any ethnic group, so it's not necessarily an ethnic tension. We do work with the community members to understand the power of the Latino vote as a group and Latino civic engagement, right? So that they can see themselves as part of a larger community, not just Mexican, Ecuadorian, et cetera. For example, most of our members are undocumented, but we still do voter mobilization, nonpartisan. So then when we go to politics...
Why would you do voter mobilization since they can't vote?
Well, so politicians want to hear from voters, right? Our community members can't vote. So what we do is we do extensive door knocking, extensive voter mobilization, and anytime we come before a politician, we could say, we don't vote, but we mobilize X number of voters.
I see.
And I think it's
so it's a way to show political muscle.
It is a way to show political muscle, and it works. So, for example, our city councilman, Daniel Drum, who's the chair of the immigration committee within the city council, mentioned us by name when he became into his post. And why? And he said we helped him to understand that he not only represents voters, but all the community members.